Well, hello there. We are live and back on air. Same channel, but a brand new time, as you guys are seeing. Welcome to the evening edition of The Big Show. First time Dwayne and I have ever been at this time. For those of you guys who are watching right now, really do appreciate it. As you guys probably know already, Dwayne and I were every Sunday at 9 o'clock Central, 10 Eastern. And for the first time, we're moving to a different time zone, a different kind of time of the day, I should say. Now we are at 6 p.m. here Central and 7 p.m. for my friends back out there on the east side of the U.S. Well, Dwayne, welcome. I really do appreciate you carving out a little bit of the evening for the Big Show podcast because we can't do it without you.
My pleasure being here. Yeah, and just for everybody, you gotta forgive Jimmy. He's from originally from Florida. He moved from time zones, and I'm assuming public education being what it is, he had to do that mental conversion about where he's at and time zones. All that. We tried to give him too much crap over that one, but hey, it's what we do.
It's true. It's very, very true. Yeah, I mean, in my defense, I've basically grown up on the Eastern time zone my entire life. I've been in Florida for the last, 30-something years, since 1989, nearly my entire life. And just up until about maybe a couple months ago that I relocate to the great state of Texas. So now I've got to deal with all these central time zones. So it is getting to me a little bit, but I'm going to figure it out. I promise you. But we really do appreciate you guys tuning in. For those of you who have not already read it, take a look at Dwayne's shirt today. And it says, "I love pronouns. Let me she them titties."
You got to love it with oh gosh, I forget his name. You got to say that with the guy from Highland, not the original 007.
Sean Connery. Sean Connery.
Let me see them titties.
Let me see them titties.
Yeah, like that bit of fun with it. No, I saw this T-shirt. I think some comedian was wearing it, or I don't know how it happened. I'm like, I gotta get that T-shirt, and here it is.
So I tell you, you never disappoint when it comes to T-shirts. You never do. I always go a little dressed up, button-down shirt. You always go, crazy T-shirt guy. So, hey, it works. It works well.
Maybe we should do another, like tonight's episode.
For those of you guys,
most unattractive things women can do. Maybe next week will be unattractive things men do, and one is show up in these kind of T-shirts. Maybe that's it. Do a little vote on who.
Yeah. After a few more episodes, we're going to have enough video footage to put together the top 10 best T-shirts that Dwayne Ward ever wore on the Big Show podcast. So we'll probably do that. But today's episode, is one that I think we all get a pretty good laugh at because we hear a lot of stuff from the female side, talking about what men can do better. Men are always this, men are always that. I mean, for a lot of guys out there, sometimes you guys feel like you just can't do anything, right? Because if it's not social media or TV or your own woman or whomever telling you that you can do better, it just like sometimes we just throw our hands up and just say, forget it, I'll just be single the rest of my life. But today, as Dwayne pointed out, we put together a list of the most unattractive things that women do according to men. And what I got my hands on was a pretty good poll online of hundreds and hundreds of men polled asking this question on what are some of the most unattractive traits that females have done either on dates, either in your own relationship, or even in marriage. And some of them is going to hit straight down the middle. And some of you guys, I don't know, some of you guys might not care about some of these things. But so, Dwayne, I've got to ask. I know that you're married now. Okay, I know you're married.
Yep.
But when you were dating, did you have some like deal breakers where like if she did A, B, and C, she was out, or conversations that she might bring up or whatever, and she was absolutely out? Was there anything like that?
Oh God, how long's the podcast going to be tonight? No, I had so many. Yeah. And I guess I don't know if I'm the unorthodox guy or whatever, because I've said this to some other friends of mine, and they were like, "Are you nuts?" A lot of mine was like, and I'll just say after, my first marriage, just for those that don't know, I've been married a total of 3 times. Third time's a charm. And when I would go out and date, well, there's so many things, but one of them is that I guess in that age group, they all wanted to sleep with you like the first night. And I'm not trying to brag or whatever, but I'd go on a date and they couldn't offer anything besides bedroom fun. The eyes of Texas are funny.
That's a good one.
But that was when I made one.
So hold on. Let me make sure that we all understood this. One of the things that you just hated was the fact that women wanted to bed you way too soon. Is that what you told us?
Yes. I mean, obviously, poor judgment. Let's just go with the obvious here. But no,
were they seeing types of women? Like both eyes worked fine? And I
got on blind.com. I don't know if you've been on that one. And the dating thing was great there. No, I would go I would go. I mean, I did what everybody else does. I would do the websites and all that, trying to find my next perfect match. And I would talk to them for a bit, and they didn't. Well, see, it gets into other stuff because they didn't offer anything in the way of intelligence, communicating. I mean, building. I mean. You'd mention something, or you'd crack a joke, or you would, my personality, and they couldn't offer anything back. And then, but then you're like, you know what? I'm free Friday night. Let's go on a, date and see where this goes. And you'd go on the date and you would sit down and they just could not offer anything except for 30 seconds of bedtime fun. And I'm like that. I mean, and I don't know if it's because, I was in my early 40s. I had my own personal mental issues or what. I don't know if I'm different from other guys in that area, but that wasn't what I was about. It's not what I was wanting to do. I was trying to find someone that I could build an empire with, and someone that actually had some intelligence. Because again, after those 30 seconds are over, you've got the other 23 hours, 59 minutes and 30 seconds left to have time with and have a relationship with, and actually conversations. I mean, it's like one of those, don't let the t-shirt fool you. I want that in there as well. But at the same time, I wanted someone that I could have an intelligent conversation with, that, I would bring stuff up, either current or past, whatever. And we could talk intelligently. Yeah. Didn't get a lot of that. No clicking on that. That was just one of those, that was an immediate turn off. Well, that, and they already were picking out, when they were moving in. First date. I'm like, what?
Mandalorian has a good one for a t-shirt. Let me see those titties. Manda, where have you been? We haven't seen you for weeks. Where have you been?
She's been waiting for the new t-shirt.
So she's waiting for a new t-shirt to arrive. So I had a few I have a few red flags that I look out for, things like that. But Randall says it perfectly. One of the things I look for.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That was my kids mean everything to me. You gotta have their 3 6s, just attitude, bitching. I mean, I guess there's no other word to describe, really, just bitchiness. Just that they think that you're doing them a favor, showing up. That whole, I don't, I'm not going to do this. I'm a nowadays woman, but I ain't got a job, 20 kids, and you're gonna have to do all this for me just to get a portion of my time. I didn't really experience that, but I know a lot of guys that have. They'll sit there and go, give me your bank statement. You need to do this. I demand this. I want this because I'm a princess. Yeah, that doesn't work across the board. But
I tell you, social media has really delusionized a lot of women out there, where they have these high expectations of what they want in a partner, and a lot of them, no offense, but a lot of them are space cadets in their wants there. Because I'm not here to tell anyone what they should or should not want. I'm just here to say the type of person that you want. What is that person going to expect, and do you meet that? Because what a lot of modern type of women seem to forget is that men have standards as well, not just women. And men don't naturally accept all. We understand we have a ranking system. We know where we fall in the hierarchy of looks, and the hierarchy of fitness, and the hierarchy of income. We get it. Because the world is very, very honest with men. If you are overweight, the world will call you fat. If you're broke, the world has no problem calling you broke. If you are
blind.com.
Yeah.
Blind.com. Very successful on there.
Where do you see that at?
No, I'm offering a PSA for the guy out there. Blind.com. You got a sexy voice? There we go. There we go.
Yeah. Todd's already subscribed to it. He's already swiping.
Lifetime member.
Yeah. He's got the platinum membership over at blind.com. But so the one of the things that I really have a big problem with, again, is the high crazy expectations that women have sometimes. Yeah. And it bothers me and a lot of men out there, because men know from a very young age what it is that women are looking for in their mating. And the reason why we know is because we date differently than women date. And here's what I mean by that. If men did not learn women, we would never have a woman. We have to learn how she moves, how she acts, what she wants, what makes her happy. We're the ones that pursue, right? Women just kind of sit back for the most part and just kind of look at the people coming, and she'll pick the winners at the finish line, kind of a thing. Right. So women don't really have to learn how men act and men move or what men want, because all they've got to do is turn on a dating profile and just push the start button and come back in 20 minutes, and they'll have 45 brand new guys hitting them up on matches on the dating profile. Right. The average man gets between 0 and 5 matches per month. Right. Per month. That's what the average, according to the statistics that I've read. Women get 5 times, 20 times that amount. You know, women get so many matches they can't even keep up with them or keep track of them. So that being said, that's what I mean whenever I say that women don't really have to learn men. And that's where the disconnect comes in today's modern world, is that, men are still traditional by nature. We understand what women want. Women are really attracted to a man's future. They want to know. That's why women are attracted to ambitious men. Even if you're not where you want to be, as long as you're on that journey and your mindset is focused on the future, she'll take a chance on you, So guys who are not really out there on their purpose, within their frame, out there, with a plan, they're going to have a hard time on the open dating market, because women are very, very interested in a man's future. Right. But when it comes from the women to learning the men and what men really want, they're not really sure what men really want. They get advice and feedback from other women on social media, and also simp guys on social media. So no matter how large this woman is, the women of the world will still call her a 10. The women of the world will still tell you that she's big and bold and beautiful. And then you got some white knights or some simps that'll come out and say, yeah, I like you too. And but what I'm starting to see now more than ever is when you start looking through the comment sections, okay? Women, ladies, let me give you a little bit of advice. Whenever you see a posting that you wonder if, is what this woman portraying, is it attractive towards men? Is this woman really beautiful? Whatever. If a woman posts a picture on social media and you go through the comments and the only one that's commenting are other women, she's not an attractive woman. And because men, for the most part, will not go onto social media and say, nah, you're a 4 out of 10. They just won't say anything at all, because they'll be dragged on social media. They don't want the negative feedback. So all you see from men are the white knights and the simps who have no options at all. They're trying to attract some sort of attention from women. Yep. If you think I'm off by this, ladies, all you've got to do is look at some of the comments on the big social media pages, like not Facebook, because those are your friends. Right. Things like Twitter or IG. Look at the Instagram comments on one of those postings, and all the men are going, no, don't like it. And the women are bashing these men, telling them that their opinions are off or wrong, they're misogynistic or whatever the case may be. Yeah. So women are saying, yes, you're a queen. Men are saying, absolutely not. And so honestly, ladies, if you think about it, whose thoughts really matter? Right. It's the men's thoughts that really matter. Here's why I say that, because if you are dating men, listen, if you're dating women, then the men's thoughts don't matter. The women's thoughts
Yeah.
matter. But if you're dating men, then men are the pursuers, and you don't want men pursuing you for the wrong things. You want men pursuing you for relationships, not for one night stands. So the guys who are simping around, click on their profile and tell me if that's the kind of guy you would probably date. You know, it's not. Yeah. All that matters is that men of value, the kind of men that you would want, are saying that you are what you're hoping that you are. Okay. Just like men, we always know that it doesn't matter what our guy friends say about us. If we want to attract a woman, I don't care what Dwayne has to say, or this guy has to say, that has to say. I'll listen to his advice because I know he has my best interest in mind. But at the end of the day, is it reciprocal towards women? And are women saying, Jimmy, yes, you're on the right path? Because if they're not, then I'm probably not on the right path because I'm trying to attract the woman. So that's kind of where I'm going with it on that little high horse type of thing. But, you know, when I looked at this polling that I've done of multiple hundreds and hundreds of men, there are a lot of things that are transferable. Women would not like it from men, but men are out there kind of sharing their voice, you know, now kind of more than ever. And I think you're going to see a big change in social media over the next decade of men really kind of speaking out more about what they want. You know, if you are a woman on the lookout for the perfect man, you might want to check out or listen to this podcast because you really should know what men find unattractive in women. This list is, again, compiled of a recent online forum in which men discussed what turns them off when it comes to women. One of the things that men repeatedly said was that turned them off was rudeness. Rudeness is one thing that really turned men off. You know, to start, I mean, one of the guys had said that when a woman is rude to his friends or loved one for no reason, he wouldn't even be attracted to her. Really, it's unattractive for both men and women to be rude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, girls, when you're dating a guy and you go on your first date, and actually, I think Jimmy, you talked a story about this a long time ago. But if you're in there and the guy is treating the waiter, waitress, whomever like garbage, what does that? I mean, what does that tell you? What is that? Yeah. And then vice versa. I mean, some of this stuff is transferable, you know, men or women. But yeah, if you're treating people you don't know rude, or family members, or you know people within your family, that gives you a window into how they are and what they're going to do.
I've heard that a lot, actually. You know, where people will watch how the other person, how they treat that waiter or waitress. You know, there's a lot of truth to people in positions of power or people. You know, who are trying to attract the attention of the other sexes. How you treat someone who means nothing to you and can't hurt you,
that's it.
Hurt your career, hurt you physically, whatever. It says a lot about you. Even in the workforce, you know, if you watch your boss, the general manager or the VP, if they come in and they treat the people who sweep the floors or the people who are, you know, in the, I don't know, call room or whatever, if they're treating them badly, they're probably not good individuals. I've worked for a lot of people, some really great leaders who know the name of the person who's out there cleaning the cars or out there sweeping the floors, just like they know the names of the regional vice president. So I think that's right. I would absolutely kind of see that as a red flag too, if she or vice versa, if he was rude to people, you know, that could not hurt them in return. You know, just like Dwayne and I say, I mean, we can all agree that rudeness is probably a huge red flag on both sides, men to women, women to men. Another thing that men unanimously said about women that are unattractive about them is lying.
Oh, God.
Lying.
Yeah. Any kind of lying. Little white lies. That it's a window into your soul. Any type of lying. So far, it sounds this is a lot of transferable skills here, men to women, women to men. If a person that you have a potential romantic interest in is lying about, even if it's inconsequential stuff, not big items, that tells you what you're dealing with. They're not going to be on in the long run.
One person on that forum had said of his girlfriend, he said he recently found out that she lies a lot about small details. And it kind of made him wonder how much more she was lying to him about. As Dwayne pointed out, trust is a huge deal in any relationship. So when it's broken, it's difficult to see how a couple can stay together. You know, one of the things I often teach younger people is trust takes months and years to build, but it can take one instance to lose.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, guys and gals, when it comes to breaking someone's trust or lying, when you do something medium or big, you can never get 100% of their trust back.
Never.
It never looks the same. Let's say that trust, 100% of trust looks like a clean piece of paper.
Right.
You crumble it up and you can unfold it. You can take it across the corner of your desk and really try to flatten that thing, but it never looks the same.
Yep.
You can break a piece of glass, put it back together, but it never looks the same. You can take a fence and hammer a nail into it and take the nail out, but that fence never looks the same. If it's a small, little, tiny lie, then you have to understand that going forward, the best you're ever going to get from that person is 99.9% of their trust. They'll never give you 100%.
Yep.
So really be careful, even with the small little white lies. So another one that was common, and I don't see this much as I get older, but I certainly saw it a lot in my 20s and early 30s, is when she gossips a lot about her friends.
Yep.
She's just dragging her friends behind their back. She will go to her friends and it's rainbows and sunshine to their face. Yep. And then as soon as you and her leave, she is tearing Becky and Jennifer up and down about her dress or all kinds of stuff. I mean, just craziness, I mean, when this unlikable trait was mentioned on that thread, it got one response I remember that said that, it's not black and white, of course, but excessive gossiping about people or being genuinely mean behind their backs is a major turnoff for me. That's what one guy had said, and it seems like sound advice and something to look out for whenever you're dating. So if you are dating a woman and really pay attention to what she says about the people when they're not around, because if she's talking bad about people when they're not around, what does she say about you when you're not around? Do you really think you're the only one, right?
Yeah, if they're talking bad to you about her friends or other acquaintances, do you honestly think that she's not going to do the exact same thing to you? I mean, it's and I see it more out of women than men, because guys, we don't gossip. We'll talk trash, we'll do whatever, but we're not like, oh God, you see what Dwayne was wearing the other day? Oh my God, see them titties or something. You don't see it in a negative way, but we see a lot of women that do that. And I'm going to tell you right now, for the guys, at least this one, it is a huge turnoff. We do not like drama, and I view gossiping as drama. And it just is just so unattractive, because also you can't just deadpan talk and give the gossip. It's always, you got the facial expressions, you got the, oh, this and that. And you're like, wow, this person, this is how they operate. It's just horrible. Man.
Yeah.
Going down some.
Manda brings up a really good point here. This is the pros and cons of being honest right there,
Yeah.
Because, the reason why the world, men, other women, lie so much to women, especially, is because women have a really hard time, more so than men, on accepting accountability, looking in the mirror, and taking constructive criticism. Guys have pretty much done that since day one. I mean, like I mentioned before, we know where we stand on the hierarchy of whatever subject we're talking about. But from an early age, I mean, we are kind of teaching our daughters that they're princesses and they can have anything they want, and they can grow up and be whomever they want to be. And we all know that it's just not true, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying you call your little girl an ugly little thing. I'm not saying that, but I mean, whenever she gets old enough to understand life, you have to kind of, level set her so that way she has the best opportunity to win in whatever facet that she wants to play. So,
well, you want an example? You may not have seen this, but it was popular. They had a Shooting for the Stars TV show, and they had a person that was let's say gender confused, and he was mute, deaf, couldn't hear. and he was singing "My Heart Will Go On" by Celine, whatever.
So Celine Dion. Celine Dion.
And it sounded just, and again, I can say this a little bit. I have a brother that's deaf, so I can kind of say this without everyone accuse me of being mean, but and you're missing the point of kind of where I'm going with this. But so he gave a rendition of "My Heart Will Go On" that you would expect someone that is deaf, mute, that can't talk would give singing. He got a standing ovation, and everyone was like, you just did a great job. What did that do? That just, there was no accountability. There was no, no one in that entire lineup said, dude, you can't sing.
Yeah.
It perpetuates that craziness that he needed to have someone tell him, dude, you can't sing. Don't do it.
Oh, what's the show that Kelly Clarkson won? The famous singing show with Simon Cowell was on it.
Right.
It's not America's Got Talent. It was the really popular one. It's been on for like 20 years.
Yeah.
What is that show? I don't know why I can't think of it. Someone put it in the chat room for me. What's that TV show where people would go on there and sing? Simon Cowell was the one of the judges on there. I swear he got famous. And Kelly Clarkson won season 1 of it. What is that? What is that show called? Come on, some of you. American Idol. Thank you, Amanda.
There you go.
American Idol. So, yeah, American Idol. So you guys ever watch the American Idol whenever they're all in the big room and they're kind of like practicing and stuff, and then these people would go up to audition for the panel of judges, and some of them are just downright awful, like so awful that I swore a few times that the producers must have grabbed someone from on the street, paid them $100 to come in there and just sing, because there's no way that they could be so disillusioned that they would think they would have a chance. Like, surely after a couple seasons of watching American Idol, the talent pool that that is needed in order to make it to the end. And some of these people, for goodness sakes, I mean, that's a perfect example of what Dwayne's talking about, because these people, their entire lives, they've been lied to and told that they sound great. And they might sound better than everyone in the car that they're in right now. But when you're out there on the open entertainment market with people who do this for a long time and practice a lot, I mean, you sound like a squirrel that someone's squeezing its nuts. I mean, it sounds god awful, but it does make for good entertainment. So
yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, it's just that whole lying and you're meaning well, you're not wanting to hurt their feelings, but eventually it's just not a good thing. And it's something that guys generally do. Because we're going to call it like we see it. I mean, I'm sitting there watching this going, wow, he sucks bad. And that's what you would expect someone that actually cared. I don't know who this person was, but cared. But having them, you're a superstar. We're celebrating Lizzo being a 10, or Gorgon the Destroyer. We've all seen that video. And being a 10, all of her girlfriends. It was interesting because all of her girlfriends were saying, "Oh yes, you're a 10," and of course, there's a few guys there that are saying, "No, you're not. You're like a -1." And of course, then the girls laughed out at her, at the guys, and then they say, "Okay, I'm out of here." But yeah, guys, when you do that, can't stand it.
I can prove that women are just lying. Here's I can prove it on the same topic. To Dwayne's point, women will oftentimes say that Lizzo was a 10, right? Well, next time someone says